Once upon a time, there was a kid and a dad. The kid was named Evan, and the dad was named Brad. Evan would always come home from school in a sad mood. He would complain to his dad that the school kids would always bully him. Brad would tell his son the same thing every day. Stop being a baby and man up. Start a fight with those pathetic kids. Evan didn't want to start any fights because he was a nice kid, always helping out others. Evan would go into his room and start crying because his dad isn't helping out at all. Dad would hear Evan crying, so he would storm into his room and abuse him. Brad would shout, "Men don't cry. Stop crying and go wash your face from those baby tears." This would devastate Evan because he knows that he shouldn't be crying like his dad says. The next day, Evan walks into school with a tank top on. One of his teachers notices the bruises and marks on him. She immediately sends him to the nurse to check up on him. The nurse would ask if someone had hurt him. Evan replies in a soft tone of voice, "My dad beats me because I come home crying every day." The school takes this situation seriously, so they let the school therapist know about the situation. The therapist goes and talks to Evan. Evan knows how he gets bullied all the time, so it makes him cry. He begins to tell him that his dad expects more from him and wishes him to stop crying like a baby. The therapist acknowledges how bad of a situation this is and schedules a meeting with the son and dad. A week later, the dad comes into the school and demands that he doesn't want to talk to anyone. All he wants is his son, and that's it. The therapist and Evan trick Brad into sitting down in the school office for some counseling. The therapist explains, "Your son, Evan, is a very emotional person. When the kids bully him at school, it really affects him in a way that you don't understand. You have to realize that his emotions overtake him, which cause him to cry. Just because he is a male doesn't mean he is not allowed to cry. He has every right to do so." Brad looks at the therapist and starts to think to himself. He said, "It's because my dad taught me that we are not able to show our emotions, so I thought it was normal. I use the same techniques on my son because I think it is the right way. After listening to what you had to say, I truly understand now how I made his situation worse." Brad starts to tear up, then suddenly breaks down in front of Evan. Evan looks at his dad crying and realizes that his dad truly regrets his mistakes in the past. Evan hugs his dad and thanks the school therapist for helping them out. Brad takes Evan home and starts to accept that his son can cry whenever he wants. But all he has to know is that his dad will be there for him no matter what. This story teaches us that every gender has feelings and emotions. Just because society looks at males as tough people, sometimes they need to let out their emotions or it will lead to violence.